Hello everybody, it's the Warhipster here, coming at you with another Contrast Plus painting tutorial, and today we are diving into the Leviathan box, and we are going to be painting up some Blood Angels Sternguard Veterans. Yes, these guys are my favourite. I love them. I've always loved them. I really love the old ones. I think they're really cool. I really like that old Blood Angels Sternguard kit, which hopefully we'll see a reappearance of that. Games Workshop, if you're watching, I hope you are. And also thank you for sending me the box early. That was really cool of you. Anyway, we're going to jump in and start painting them. They have been primed in grey Seer, as has the rest of our Leviathan box Space Marines. And the colour we're going to be using first is Baal Red. So, we're going to be applying this over the top of all of the armour, excluding our sergeant's shoulder pads and the helmets. The helmets across all of them. These are Blood Angels. They are not got red sergeant helmets. So we shall leave them for now. Doesn't matter if you do get some of this paint on the helmets, of course, because we're going to be covering them over with the base paint. But good opportunity to practice some brush control. So with that Baal Red all applied, what we're now going to do is take a roughly 1-to-1 mix of Contrast Medium and Blood Angels Red. I'm going to apply this over the top. So with that all done, we can now move on to the next colour, which is going to be some Black Legion. Now, we're going to apply this over lots and lots of details. So, first place is going to be over the top of the Aquillas. Just like that. We're going to apply this over any of the soft joints in the armour. Like so. We're going to apply it over the sergeant's shoulder pads. We're going to apply it over the top of all the little pouches and belts and straps, excluding the strap on this kind of spare magazine back here and the one on the gun, because we are also going to be applying Black Legion over the top of the weapon casings. It just creates a little bit of variation to leave those for a different colour. So with that all done, what we're now going to do is we're going to take some skeleton Horde and we're going to apply this over the top of their pajamas. Now we're not going to do this over the parchment because some of them have got parchment that overlay with the pajamas. And it's just a little bit too much bone in one place. So we've got a different colour for that. With that skeleton Horde all applied, we then take some Agrax Earthshade and we're going to apply this over the top of all the paper. So with that now done, what we're going to do is we're going to take some Dark Angel's Green and we're going to apply this over the top of, we'll do it on this one, we're going to apply this over the top of the wax seals on all of our oath papers, and we're going to apply it over the top of any cables. So with that Dark Angel's Green applied, we're then going to take some Cygor Brown. I'm going to apply this over the top of our remaining leather details. So with that Cygor Brown all applied, what we're now going to do is we're going to take some thinned down Retributor Armour. I'm going to use this to paint in a load of different details. So we're looking for areas of decoration and trim. So for example, got this little skull just down here. Which we're going to colour in. Like that sort of thing. We've got this little decoration here on the combi melter. Like that sort of thing. And the other rather important detail is we're going to be painting in the helmets. Of our storied veterans. So with that all done, what we're now going to do is we're going to take some thinned down Iron Warriors. I'm going to apply this over pretty much all of our remaining details, excluding the melter barrel just there on the combi melter. That's going to be a different colour. But otherwise, we just want to grab this Iron Warriors and start applying this over the top. So with that Iron Warriors applied, there is just one last base coat left to apply, which is going to be some thinned down Castellax Bronze. I'm going to apply this over the top of the melter barrel. So with that all done, it is now time to add some shades, as we've got all of our base coats on our models. So what we're going to do is we're going to start by taking some Nuln Oil, and we're going to use this to shade the Castellax Bronze, the black details, and all the silver. With that Nuln Oil all applied, we're then going to add some Reikland Fleshshade. And we're going to do this over the top of all of the gold. So with that shade applied, there is now one last little colour to apply to get them to the Warhipster battle ready stage, and that is to once again take some Dark Angel's green and apply this over the top of their eye lenses. Just like this. So with that, our Sternguard are now what I would call a Warhipster battle ready, and they're looking fabulous, as they always will do, in the colours of the 9th Legion. However, we're not going to leave them there, no, we're going to take them to the next level. I'm going to do this by adding some highlights. Now the first one that we're going to add is some thinned down Evil Sunz Scarlet, and we're going to be using this across all of the armour. Now whilst this isn't going to look like it's doing loads, this is actually going to just provide us a really nice baseline for all of our edges. Now you could skip this stage if you don't want to do it. You could just go straight to the next one, because whilst we've already got a very nice slight highlight from our Blood Angels Red and Baal Red, we just want to brighten it up a little bit. Now it'll look brighter as it goes on, and then as it dries, it'll look darker. Just try to keep track of where you've been. Be nice and methodical as you go, and just pick out every edge. So with all of that Evil Sunz Scarlet applied, what we're then going to do is take some Fire Dragon Bright, and we're going to use this to add a little spot highlight to our sharpest points. So we're going to pick out areas such as these rivets just here. We're going to highlight the top of the shield and the curve, and a little bit on the way down on either side, like that. We're going to pick out the edge of his pauldron. Like this sort of thing. We'll do the inside track as well. And go around the top of his gorget. So with that Fire Dragon Bright all applied, we're now going to move on because the armour is all done. And the colour we're going to move on to is the black. And the colour we're going to be using to highlight this is some thinned down Dawnstone. And so with that now done, we're going to take some Screaming Skull. I'm going to use this to highlight the pajamas. And so with that Screaming Skull applied, we're then going to take a teeny tiny amount of Gauss Blaster Green. I'm going to draw a little line going across the middle of each of the eye lenses, like that. So with that done, we've got some metallics to do. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take some Retributor Armour. We're going to apply this over the top of the flat parts of the helmet. So we want this to be nice and bright. So we're just going to go to the top here, for example. Apply this like so. I'm also going to apply it over the sides, just avoiding the recesses. So with that Retributor Armour applied, we're then going to take some Liberator Gold. I'm going to use this to highlight all of the gold. So with that now done, we're then going to take some thinned down Ironbreaker. I'm going to use this to highlight all of the silver. So with that, our Sternguard Marines are now finished, as you can see, and they look pretty awesome. However, there is one last thing that we can do, and this is entirely optional, and this is to add some heraldic markings to that shield on his chest. Now, what we're going to do here is we're going to take some Yriel Yellow, and we're basically going to do what we've got on the box art for the Ultramarines ones, but we're going to do this in yellow instead. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the Yriel Yellow, and we're going to add a little dot right there. I'm going to add a little dot right there as well. Take a little bit more. I'm going to add another little dot just there. Another little dot just there, like that. And then what we're going to do is going to draw as straight a line as possible. Between each of the dots. looks like that. And then we will block it in after we've finished getting our entire design out. What we're also going to do with the Yriel Yellow is going to add a little aquila down here, and we do this by drawing a little line like this going across, and then we just add lots and lots of little lines like that to give it the impression of wings. And then finally, up here, we're going to add a little teardrop. Like that.
So here we have it then, our finished Sternguard, looking absolutely fantastic. I love them. I love them to bits. Sternguard have always been my favourite, which is weird as a Blood Angels player because you'd expect Vanguard Veterans, or indeed Blade Guard Veterans these days, to be my favourite, but I just love the Sternguard. There's something so cool about them. Probably because I have a sort of weird passion for Ultramarines as well, and I just prefer painting them in red. But there you have it, the coolest unit. If you enjoyed this video, you love the channel, and you'd like to support me further, you absolutely can do so. Head to patreon.com/Warhipster, just like these bosses have done, scrolling up on the screen before you, whose continued support helps me continue to make all the wonderful content that you enjoy. Alternatively, you could become a YouTube channel member by clicking on the join button on the channel page or just below this video, like these wonderful, amazing people have done. And if you really like this video and you just want to shoot me a little thanks, you can click on the thanks button just below this video. Don't forget to share it, like it, comment on it, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And to make sure you stay up to date, don't forget to click the bell icon. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all very soon in the next one. Happy wargaming.